What's up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi 36. I'm here with It's the 9 Ball. Check 2 1 2. How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
And Mildewy Carrot. How are you, man?
Don't look at me. No.
I will look at you. I will look at you.
Okay.
Welcome to ALWT Things Gaming, Season 2, Episode 22. For our audio listeners, or anyone that's watching on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, or anything like that, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. It's been a very interesting month already. We started off the month with Summer Game Fest, or not Summer Game Fest, State of Play this past Thursday. We were able to react to it. Got to see some goodies there, and I do want to go over that here in a minute. But what I want to do first, as we always do, what have you been playing, Mildewy, first?
Been getting back into some Conan. They've got a weird thing on their launchers. Some new info coming out 21st. Not sure if it's going to be like an extra DLC pack or something. So we'll see what that's about. Other than that, I know Nine Ball, Abyss, and we played some Phasmophobia. We did that. Had some fun there. And haven't been on too much else recently. I tried modding a Fallout 4 game, but some of my mods are so old they're crashing the game. So that's going to be a day's job trying to dig through that garbage and figure out what.
I've been doing that with my Skyrim, actually.
Yeah, it's anyone who mods, they know that once a mod goes out of date with the current version, the current build and all, it's a nightmare trying to dig through, figure out which one's the cause, or if a load order change or something. So you're talking a full day's worth of work there, but to get what you want and to play and have fun with what you want to play with, it's worth it. So,
you know who's also worth it? It's the 9 Ball. What have you been playing, man? What's been going on?
You want to really know what I've been playing?
Yeah.
House Flipper.
He's been doing that.
Okay. Is it fun?
We actually interrupt.
Yeah, it's basically a house building simulation.
Okay.
We do like odd jobs and stuff to clean up in order to get more money, so you continue to flip your house and sell it. I think outside of that, a bit of Smite and Phasmophobia and Fishing Paradiso.
Saw that one. That actually looks kind of interesting. A fishing game with a story to it.
Yep, and a bit of Planet Crafter again.
Heard that.
Get ready for that next update, man.
I actually haven't really been playing much of anything because I've been extremely busy lately. But I have been watching my animes. I've actually been eating some of my Mr. Beast bars too as well. This one was actually opened by my wife. I didn't even know that she wanted there to go ahead and grab one. So there you have it. But it's nice, delicious chocolate. You guys get it from Feastables as the Mr. Beast bar. But enough about that. I want to dive right into the news day proper. And I do want to start off by this. We're not going to go fully into this because we've done our react to it this past Thursday. So if you guys want to look what our reactions are in a more of a deeper dive, if you will, the stuff that jumped out of the page for us, I want to play a little game here of stuff that we saw at the State of Play. And it's going to be trash or pass. Or not even trash or pass. It's going to be cop or drop. That's what it is. So when I say it, there's no in between. It'll be you're copping it, and that could be at launch, that could be afterwards, like on sale, or doesn't hold your interest at all, aka you're dropping it. All right, I'm gonna go down the list here, and it's no in particular order, but the first one is Resident Evil 4. I want to start with you, 9 Ball, cop or drop.
You talking about the VR one, right?
No, just
the
remake.
Res 4 remake.
I'm gonna cop it. I'm gonna keeping it, copping it.
Heard that. Now, with that being said, the VR, that's it. Well, we can't even say that because it's still in development. So yeah, so we won't talk about the VR version for RE4. But you say you're copping That
Well,
one.
it's not RE4, it's Village.
Well, they're doing RE4 as well. That one says it's in development. It was at the very end trailer of.
Oh, I missed that part then. I was watching it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, because they definitely showed Village, but
VR what? Who?
Yeah, so you say you're copying it. Enlighten us. What about RE4 that you saw? And again, we'll keep this real brief. But what about RE4 did you saw that made you want to copy it?
What about RE4? Haven't you saw that makes you want to not copy it? The only thing I'm worried about is just will you be able to move and shoot. Outside of that, this was like a huge thing in the action horror genre, and it was. I mean, nowadays with technology the way it is, I'm betting you can move and shoot because it's one of the biggest complaints I had about that one. But the game itself, since I played the old one, I would love to see the updated graphics on it. And even though Ashley is annoying in there, it has one of the, by far, best characters in ever video game history. The sales guy. What are you buying?
Strong statement there. Strong statement. No Dewey Carey.
What you selling?
Not creepy at all.
Are you copping or dropping? You're copping? All right. Enlighten us.
I mean, Nineball said it all. It was a great game. Good story mode. I love the combination of FPS with horror, along with the if you found some of the extra little goodies that they do in there, even better. Only complaint was I like to aim, and when you do that, you stop and shoot. So yeah, no. Please don't put that in there. Please keep it like Village where you can run around and shoot. So yeah. Yeah, I'm copping it.
Street Fighter 6. Mildewy.
Hey, you didn't do it.
You guys know my answer. I'm dropping that.
I need you to say it.
Dropping it so hard. It's just not I'm not in a horror genre guy.
And it bounces back up, and you catch it, and you have to go with it.
Well, actually, what I will do is, since I just gave mine, I'll go ahead and start for Street Fighter 6. I'm copying this. I am copying this so hard. I definitely enjoyed fighting games in my earlier years of gaming. Definitely before I actually even classified myself as an actual gamer. I was always into the Soul Caliburs, Killer Instincts, Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat, Power Stone, literally all these different types of fighting games that were so awesome to me back then. And then over the years, it felt very redundant and repetitive. it looked prettier, but it didn't really do anything for me anymore. Hit or miss, some of the arena fighters were still kind of fun. I actually loved Demon Slayer, which is still considered a fighting game, but that is the one where you're running around, everything like that. Xenoverse fighting game, very fun stuff there. But as far as the traditional side scroller 3D 2D fighting, that kind of fell off on that. Fell off on that pretty hard. But this trailer about Street Fighter 6 looks absolutely spectacular, and it got me all the way back in. So I definitely want to cop Street Fighter 6 when that comes out. Mildewy.
Drop.
You're dropping it. Care to elaborate, or you want to go into Nineball?
It's just I've never been a huge fighter game person. I played Super Smash Bros with friends and all, or I might play it if it's a group thing, but I've never had the interest solo play. Now granted, it looks like they're putting an exploration type in there, or some form of story mode into it, which seems cool. It's cool. Go ahead and do it, but they've never, those types of games just have never spoken to me in terms of me wanting to play it and do it. So, yeah, it's just going to be a drop. I hope you guys have fun with it. I won't be there.
I'll have you over to play it. Nineball.
I mean, we want to do some multiplayer tournament mode. I'll be happy to button smash for you.
I got you. Copper drop, Nineball.
I think it's on the floor. Yeah, I dropped it. It's on the floor.
3 second rule. 3 second rule. 3 second rule.
Nah, it's ground zero. It's gone. I have a problem with it's not that I hate fighting games. They just, for some reason, you play them for a little bit with your friends, and then they just fill up space on your computer or your PlayStation eventually. I have Soul Calibur 6. I have DBZ Fighters. I have Marvel vs. Capcom. I have Dead or Alive. I have, Virtual Fight. I don't think I have, but yeah, I have Virtual Fighters. It's just you play them a little bit with your friends, and then they kind of just exist, and then they just vanish into nothingness.
And that's where I feel like I kind of fell off on, because I was like that as I started falling off from fighting games. But when I was really active in fighting games, it was me having people over, would be playing all this stuff, would be super into it, and then they were over all the time, so that made it even more fun. But then on top of that, because I was putting all the time, and sometimes I get my butt handed to me, I wanted to get better, so I would challenge other people online, not just for the sake of me being the best online, but because when I go against my friends again, then I'll be like leveled up, ready.
I was about to start singing a Pokemon song. I will be
the very best. Moving on with this one.
They tried doing a Pokemon Fighter game, I think, if I remember right. But
moving on for this one, yeah. There's that Pokken tournament or whatever. Yeah. Final Fantasy 16. Starting off with you there, Nine Ball. Cop or drop?
I'm a cop it. And I like my Final Fantasies. And I do plan on spending to get like 13 too. It's just 13 I can't get into. For some reason, 15 I can't really. So I got to finish up 13 too.
13 and 13 too. If you don't own it already, it's not really worth purchasing right now, because it's
I already bought them.
Well, I was about to say,
they go on sale on Steam so much.
Yeah, they go on sale. But even so, like anyone that's listening right now, if you have Game Pass, they're on Game Pass right now. So it's not worth actually buying right now until you actually...
For limited time access, while Game Pass determines to keep them online. Subject to restrictions may apply, subject to details in terms and conditions based on states of Oregon, Utah, Idaho, California, and Wisconsin. Canada is not involved.
Some of that is true. Some of that is true. But as far as long as I've had Game Pass, it's been on there for a while, so it might still be on there, and they'll give you a heads up before it actually leaves. If it leaves, we don't know, right? Because like I said, it's been on there for a while. But as far as Final Fantasy 13 right now, for anyone that's listening, it's not worth buying if you have Game Pass. If you don't have Game Pass, then you might want to look for a sale or something like that.
Steam has some really good sales if you have a PC.
Yeah, I would say buy 13 at a sale. I beat 13 a long time ago. It's a trek. And out of all the Final Fantasies, I would say this one has I like some of the characters, but some of the characters are probably some of the most non-useless characters you'll see too. So it was hit or miss with this one. So it wasn't as good as the other ones on Final Fantasy 13. As for 15, for some reason I just can't get into it. I stopped playing it and then I just stopped. It's like Rage. I bought Rage excited, and I got Rage 2. About to play them, you start playing them, you get into them, and then they just, just stop.
It might be a split focus thing.
It's just, I don't know. No, games like I was able to play Skyrim. I played Skyrim from beginning to end, no problem. I could play games like that, no problem. It's just on this one, I just can't get into them. I don't like the characters.
And that could be a thing if you don't relate to them, then obviously you won't be able to.
Some of the characters on 13, for example, listening to Hope complain for like 8 years. But it's good for itself. But I beat 13. I gotta do 13 too. But I don't really like No Christ. I don't like the new character on there. I need to still beat it, and then I gotta beat Lightning's Revenge. Like I said, I gotta finish up 14. I was playing more of that over the weekend, and I gotta beat 15. So I'm spinning back to that one. Then I'm gonna hit up Final Fantasy 9, just for the memories.
And a little disclosure again for anyone that's watching right now: if you guys do decide to play 15, I'd recommend to watch the movie first, Kingsglaive. It does pour into 15. And it's very interesting on how it all relates together. Like, it's actually pretty cool. Mildewy Carrot, Final Fantasy 16, cop or drop?
This is where I wish I had the option to pass. I'm not huge Final Fantasy person, but I do love my RPGs, CRPGs, and all that. 13 was a good one. 12 was really interesting. Story was good, but combat mechanics were like, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
that
a
one
whole
too.
other thing. Um, I'll say just from what I saw, I would give it a cop.
And again, remember, it doesn't have to be cop at launch. You might wait for a sale or something, so you never know.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it had enough in there for me to say cop. Just from what I saw, and not because of your face, Malachi, and because you almost wiped yourself. Enjoy, um, like literally, people go back and watch that reaction. Like, tell me he was not about ready just drop everything.
I was as cool as a cucumber. I don't know what any of you guys were saying. With that being said, you guys already know my answer, which is I'm definitely copping it, 1,000% copping it, and it just looks great to me. The thing that and again, I won't go too heavy into this, but the thing that I'm a little turned off by, but it probably will still work, is the fact that it doesn't look like that you're going to have an actual party. You're just going to Devil May Cry it pretty much. Just one person just going through it as a campaign style. Which could work. It could definitely work. But at the same time, a lot of Final Fantasies are known for, again, difficulty, for music, for graphics, for story, for sure. And I never thought I'd have to say this, but it is party members. Now that we're kind of eliminating one of those elements potentially, it is something that's like, is this going to work? So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I am excited for
Todd Howard that. I mean, come on, it just works.
Which one was it? Which was the Devil May Cry that did the split stories between the younger and the older guy?
I never really got to Devil May Cry.
There was one of them that didn't. It was actually pretty good. And I've actually played some stories that do the splits. So if they do it right, it could be nice. So, but like you said, Malachi, we'll have to see.
Yes, we will. Resident Evil Village in VR 2. Back, I guess it's on me. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Especially again, I'm not a horror game person, but you put me in VR with the horror game, no thank you. Nuh-uh. Not interested. Mildewy carrot.
You just have like an anti-horror pole, don't you? Just the one that you can just shove those things away with.
Yep. I'm fine with it.
It would be a cop, but it's a drop for me, and the only reason why is just because it's VR, and just VR just has not agreed with me so far. So, yeah, right now it's just a drop for that. Original game is fantastic.
It's the 9-ball copper drop.
It's falling. It's gonna drop. It's gonna have to drop. Same reason. I would get it. It's just VR. I'm not really sold by VR yet.
All right. So with that, I'll go ahead and skip the other VR stuff, but throwing it out there, Horizon Call of the Mountain, for me, that's a cop. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution, that's a drop for me, but it is on PSVR 2. No Man's Sky, Take Flight, that's a cop for me if it's on sale or possibly free with Plus or something. Outside of that, it's a drop. But again, those are all the VR games that's coming. Games that's coming to VR too.
So
No Man's Sky has actually been a really good game. They turned that one around, and the amount of stuff you get for it, most people I can now steer in the direction of it and go, yeah, it's worth buying. And since they frequently have it on sale.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's only 2 games in the history of gaming that has Final Fantasy 14'd itself, and one of them being Final Fantasy 14. The other one is No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Horizon and sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say Horizon and No Man's Sky would definitely be cops for me, but the problem just is the VR.
Yeah.
So,
that's why I kind of sped through it, because I know you guys are not.
If they get that VR fixed and all, and I can easily do it, and I can handle it with my system and all, like it's motion sickness, guys. The old simulators that you remember, like those science centers that you can get in, and you just be like, oh, like just in it, like rocking you around and all.
Well, I know who I'm not getting in the machine in after. Yeah. It'd be like Mildew was just in there. Yeah, I'll pass.
You going ahead. You guys can skip a line. Group of 4, go right ahead.
Again, that mildewy may not pass on, though, is Stray. Cop or drop mildewy carrot.
Cop all day long. that game just, even when they just did the first announcement, just looked fantastic. Like, just so intriguing and fantastic to me. To explore around as a creature and like in a world that has no humans, like I definitely was interested and sold on it day one. So yeah, cop all the way.
It's the 9-ball, cop or drop.
It's 100% a cop. I mean, this was a game that I was wondering about when I first seen it, but after seeing the footage, I love puzzle games as well. It's probably my other favorite genre. This is why Portal's one of my favorite one of my favorite franchises, Portal and Portal 2. Stray looks interesting. I love those style of games that go outside the box to make something different. So I already wish listed. I might picking it up.
It's a cop for me too for a couple things. One, it did look interesting. It didn't actually have my attention all the way last year, but it looked interesting last year. This year, it does look like it's almost like a 3D-ish platformer to a degree, because like you're jumping across from platform to platform. There are some puzzles that you're working out and stuff like that. Not a fan that there's not really any voice acting per se in it. It looks like it's a script that you just have to read with sound effects and everything like that. But that's neither here nor there. But the reason why, the 1000% reason why it's a cop is going to be included on PlayStation Plus membership. So like it's an easy pickup. Like, why wouldn't I pick it up? Why wouldn't I actually give it a chance to check it out?
If it wasn't on PlayStation Plus, would you get it?
I would cop, but it wouldn't be a day one release. It would be one that I would get on sale later.
It's still a cop.
Yeah, it's still a cop.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
but with it, but in the reality is that it is right around the corner, and it's just going to come out day one on the PlayStation Plus membership.
Oh shoot, that is right around the corner. I keep forgetting about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a month. That's a month from now.
It's the
Monday, isn't it?
July 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
PlayStation Plus comes out next month. Monday.
Yeah, it comes out. Yeah, it comes out next Monday. Yep. So it's literally going to be almost exactly a week from.
Speaking of which, doesn't Days of Play end tomorrow?
Today, I think it's today. I got a notice about it on my phone. If it's not today, then it's tomorrow. Yeah, like it's probably saying like through today you can buy games and tomorrow it's done. So
yeah,
I don't. Yeah. Clicked on the wrong one. Here we go. For you guys, because I'm already a drop, but for you guys, Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2018 on PC, is that a cop or a drop for you guys?
Depend. Oh God, I'm probably gonna drop it.
Malachi's not giving us a gray area.
He said drop. I said drop mainly. One, I've already
have it.
Yeah, I already have it and already beat it, both of them. Two, I loved the iterations on the PS5, and I think that the only benefit I would have for playing it on PC, for me, would be if I had a stronger PC, then I'd be able to boost the fidelity of it more.
You know what? It might be. It's a cop for me.
It's a cop for you. Because
I would want to. No, not for mods. I want to see how it plays on PC as well.
It looked clean through the single play. It looked very clean.
Yeah, and it would be worth a playthrough on there.
Okay.
So I'll probably get it maybe one day on a sale or something. Pick it up after I beat the one on PlayStation 5. Try the one on PC. See how the differences go.
And now one of the good things, which I don't know if this is incorporated yet, but I know that PlayStation was talking about having the DualSense controller be compatible with PCs moving forward. So that is something that's in the works. I don't think
I've heard about that. I know you can get your 4 controllers on PC and Steam right now. I've seen that.
I have mine.
It'd be nice if they can get the 5s in there. That would really sell it more. But I'm also going to go with a cop on this one, just because one, like Nineball said, like, you know, a lot of times, like, you know, don't get me wrong, the graphics on the PS5 is fantastic and amazing. But if you're like PC gamers like me and Nineball are, like, we can crank that to the next level. So to see that type of movie aspect type gaming graphics would probably really just bring it to a whole new level of immersion and gameplay. So I'm definitely a cop, but like Emil said, probably be something that I would want to get on sale though.
That's like you said before, still a cop. Still a cop. Roller Dome.
Still copping it.
Oh, Roller Drome. My apologies. Roller Drome. This one for me is a drop. I'm not interested in this at all.
I'm dropping it as well.
This one's completely fallen off. Like I don't even know. I don't really know what to do with that.
We'll just go on
I
to the
don't
next
know
one
what the
then. There's not.
I don't know what the thought of the concept was. Like,
I've seen
yeah,
those graphics. They're like, I don't know if anybody in here has
It's
ever heard of Liquid Television.
Ollie Ollies. The people that made Ollie is the one
You
that
ever,
made this game.
you ever heard of Liquid Television?
No.
no,
MTV a long time ago. You ever heard of the movie Aeon Flux?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know the Aeon
That's
Flux.
where Aeon Flux came
That's
from.
what that's what the graphics remind me of. I was like, we're talking about them. Like, I've seen those graphics somewhere. It's Aeon Flux. Ugh.
Aeon Flux. That's
Thank
what
you for
Aeon
saying
Flux
it.
started out at. They started on Liquid Television. It did look kind of like that with
Thank
some
you
of
for
their
telling me.
animation. But for me, it's still a drop. I mean, I do like their style of animation, but outside that, I don't really care for the game.
Yeah, it is one of those ones. It is one of those ones that for me and like whatever I think of indie, this is what I think of. Just stuff that like it's unique, it's different, but it just doesn't grab me. I guess you could say I'm starting to get more spoiled with the indie style games that are your Seafoods, that are your Ken and Bridge of Spirits, that are your Strays and stuff like that. Well, I don't know if a Stray would be considered. I don't know if Stray would be considered. Annapurna is a well-known establishment, right? That's a well-known company.
It's an indie developer still. Annapurna.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So-
if that's the case, then yeah, it would still be an indie game. So
Yeah, they're still considered indie.
Yeah. So with that being
I don't
said,
remember
then,
what you need to do to get above that.
I mean, at this point, I think just kind of be signed with the like.
Well,
making,
no,
like having
like
some sort
there's.
of
I
deal.
think they have to do something with like a business aspect or a
Yeah,
kind of
I
aspect or
forgot to
something.
take so much money out of something. I forgot because they talked about it. When they
Yeah,
talked about death of a game, I was watching that. They talked about that with Godfall
Yeah.
and
yeah.
how that one went up to AAA, but they had to do something. I can't remember what
Yeah,
that
and,
is.
well, and,
There's
but you can
something
tell.
you
You
gotta
can
do.
tell by the quality too, because it just feels like the next gen style video games. It just didn't work. Like it just didn't work. That was the downside. But when you have your games like Ken and Bridge of Spirits, like your Seafoods, like potentially what is going to be Stray, like
Tell me about Kenna.
those are the ones that are like your indies that don't feel like indies. They feel like AA, AAA style games. So, but when I think of indie, like that's the thing that turns me off about this particular game, Rollerdrome. And also, I will be interested to see more about what it brings to the table and what that world is looking like officially. But yeah, Callisto Protocol. Starting off with you, Nine Ball. Copper Drop.
You already know it's a cop. If you asked me that question, I'm getting it. It looks very good, and I'm glad that they are separating it from the PUBG universe. It looks like what I wanted from Dead Space 3 before EA touched Dead Space 3.
Before you go further into that, because I have a question for both of you guys on this same topic. But before you go into that, Mildewy, Copper Drop.
Potentially a cop.
Okay, so my question for you guys: we got a release date. It is coming out a month before Dead Space. Do you think? And now again, this is former creators of Dead Space that came onto this project, Callisto Protocol, and then fast forwarding years later, we have EA announcing, "Hey, Dead Space 3 is actually going to happen." Do you think that this is going to be a good thing for Callisto Protocol launching beforehand and maybe driving traffic away from Dead Space? Or do you think that this is a bad thing because it's going to be so close and there's going to be comparison because Dead Space already has a following?
This is going to be a good thing. I mean, you got the original makers and EA. I've seen the remake. I've been watching the vids of the remake, and they look amazing. This is why you don't want to release after the remake, but before it. You don't want to get caught in the wave. You want to be surfing the top of it.
Right.
And I feel like this one is going to do fine. It's going to be able to get in that niche and able to sit in there for a little bit. And it'll give people some time to, get through this game to get them in the mood. Actually, it might encourage them to go to Dead Space. Like, oh, this game was kind of cool. I liked it. What's the other game? Oh, Dead Space is coming out. This game looks like, oh, okay, it's made by the same makers. Oh, okay.
Well,
And see, this was-
that's the thing. It's not even really technically the same makers anymore. It's like a new team.
It's really a remake. Like, they've been updating the graphics on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Dead Space left off of one of the biggest cliffhangers in history. Yeah, I don't know if either one of y'all finished did y'all finish part 3?
I haven't played any of them.
Not yet.
Great
I need
spoiler.
to. It's one of the games I need to go back and replay through. I got Nine Ball. I'm like Malachi. I got the list. Like, you just take the scroll, just drop it, and it just keeps scrolling out the door. Down the street past your mom's house, and she's in Connecticut. It's one of those lists.
But it left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, and it's worth. I'm hoping that eventually maybe they'll get the crew back together again, and maybe they'll make a Dead Space 4. That's my ultimate dream. But for now, we got this one and Callisto Protocol, which will probably sate my hunger until that one comes out. And who knows? Maybe after this one, maybe we can get Malachi on there. It is a
The one
two-player
thing.
game.
Oh, okay. All right. Now you're speaking my language. Speaking my language.
Phasmophobia is a 4-player game, and he still hasn't joined us at all yet.
Yeah, but you can make your own guns on this one.
Well, and here's the thing: is that this one, if I'm not mistaken, is a campaign style. Like, it has a plot. It's point A to point B. It's not just going in there and just getting scared or finding out. Like,
no, it's a plot on there.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's plot.
So that's the thing that kind of drives me in, because I was able to get through Dying Light that way. It was multiplayer.
Well, Dying Light's not that scary. It's just zombies just trying to kill you.
Yeah, but I mean, those night zombies are pretty ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
That's just more of like the developers really playing on like, oh, you're at nighttime, have fun.
Yeah, and I tell you, man, like, I was holding my controller, sweating, running away, trying to make sure I'm not in the sight of any of these guys that can jump on over like a raptor. Man, it was that was a good time. That was a good time, but it was only a good time because I played that multiplayer and I was invested inside the story. So, but yeah, but
GOG started up the summer sale. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That itself, you saying that has me intrigued, but I am going to keep this going though. One final thing I do want to ask you guys is, on the flip side, you say, all right, Callisto Protocol, you think is going to be fine. Do you think that Dead Space, because again, if I'm not mistaken, this is a reimagining of the first Dead Space, right?
Not really a reimagining, more or less an update. They may have them talk a lot more and stuff. Dead Space 1, they don't really need to reimagine Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 was an excellent game. It holds its own. It was just a couple flaws here and there. They said some of the corridors, some of the big complaints were the corridors were too much the same, and it was too much the same. And the main protagonist on the first one didn't really feel like he had much of a character. It's more like, Isaac, the main generator's down. Go to the engine room. So you go down to the engine room, you get the engine room. Isaac, we're having a problem with the air filtration system. Go to the air filtration system. So you gotta go to the air filtration system.
So it's like almost like fetch quests on MMOs where it's just repetitive.
Sort of, except you've got, murderous zombies, killer babies, and all sorts of just bad things chasing you. And the end I think it was was that the end of one? Yeah, the end of one, it had like an excellent twist on there and stuff, and it got kind of crazy at the end. And plus, too, the death scenes were crazy.
Interesting. Oh yeah, and that was actually my other thing that I was going to say, is that was one thing that intrigues me. It's not turning me on to the game, but it intrigues me because they're the ones that did it first before Tomb Raider, to where every single death was unique and graphic, if you will.
But there was... Oh, sorry.
Well, I was about to say, those are the same people, because like, even if you remember that, what we saw from this past Thursday, you would see like towards the tail end of Callisto Protocol trailer, you saw some of those graphic deaths where people were like getting their heads stomped on or their faces ripped off and stuff like that. Like, it was kind of ridiculous.
But there was one more thing too that they did too that was kind of unique. Unless you literally pause the game, you hit pause, but the screen goes blank and says pause. Everything on your HUD is on your character. Like on the new one, I don't know if you noticed, but the life bar is on the back of the deck. They did that on Dead Space because they wanted to get the clutter, so you wouldn't have like life bars here.
Yeah.
And when you look at your inventory, you can't pause the game to look at your inventory. So everything happens live. Even when you're talking to
Hold
characters.
on 1 second.
Oh,
Who does that too?
Oh, well, I mean, you
no.
can keep talking about that. You can keep talking.
I know
Um,
BioShock did it too. Some of their later ones.
BioShock. I know there was another one, and it's a game I play too, where it's like, oh, Raph does it, so it's like where it's like you can't like you pause, and it's like, all right, cool, game's still running.
Sorry,
there's other games.
There's a squirrel right outside of my window. So it was just I was hearing all this
He's
stuff.
a fan, man.
I guess
He's
he's
a
trying to
fan.
get down here.
He's like, hey, Stream Bomb.
So you guys are both copying Callisto Protocol, and we shall see.
We know you got the 10-foot pole out. We saw it.
For Seasons, A Letter to the Future. I'm dropping that, but I know that you're copying that, if I'm not mistaken. Correct there, Mildewy?
Yep.
What's the name of it?
Seasons.
A Letter to the Future.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I need to be
It
reminded
gives
what
me
that
a
is.
feeling of kind of like a puzzle game mixed. Like I got kind of like a little idea this kind of made me feel a little bit like Kenna Bridge of Spirits in a way, to where it's like like you're talking about like trying to solve a future and all, but like Kenna's more like trying to solve the past to release the future. But this is more like you're trying to prepare for the future. But also, like, it kind of gave me like a Life is Strange type of feelish to it. I don't think there's like, and not in terms of gameplay either. Gameplay for Life is Strange is like you have actions, reactions, wind back time, and all that. But this one's kind of more, and I mean, hell, they could do that too in here. Like, certain actions you take in certain areas will lead to certain things. But it just gives me this feeling of like trying to explore and learn like the legends and lore of this place, with possibility of puzzles, interactions, and all that. So that definitely has my interest. It seems very light and all, and it's not a very like you need to be like hardcore in the paint, like guys stay focused and all that. No, it's very calm, relaxing. Just go through and just get this solved and all, and go through whatever it is that you're doing. So it's definitely a cop for me. I definitely like these types of games. So this one definitely intrigued me.
Yeah, one thing for me before I go over to the 9-ball, it does have a lake view. Like there's a game called Lake where you're like a mailman or mail woman, and
Yeah, it's on my list too to get.
yeah, you're going around and stuff like that with the neighborhood. And I've heard decent things about it, but I've also heard of very bad things where it just feels like people like they hear the concept like, oh, that's really cool, and then I think even Gravity was playing it. He's like, oh yeah, that seems really cool, and then you actually play it, you're just like, oh, this is actually pretty boring. And that's kind of that's the vibe this game is giving me, and it just doesn't speak to me at that level, which is why it was a drop for me.
Yeah.
But I am interested to see what you have there, 9-ball.
Yeah, this one's kind of interesting because I took a look at it to kind of refresh my brain on it. If you had asked me a year ago, I would have said a definite drop, but I'm gonna say cop at a sale. After playing certain games like even Fishing Paradiso and been playing House Flipper, even Planet Crafter, I kind of got a knack for those style of games. They're kind of fun. I mean, I like my fast-paced action games, but you gotta. I love the kind of chill, relax. You want to play a game, but you don't want to have a heart attack trying to run around from the boss monster for 10 minutes.
I'm trying to take a picture of this cow.
Yeah, it's also nice not have to like get involved, like where you're just like have to like, oh, I gotta get this right, you gotta get this hardcore mode, and blah, you gotta go through all this, like go. It's like, no, it's just calm, just smoothing in and out, just go with the flow, man.
This was one of the biggest things with me too, with like No Man's Sky, and I did like about that. You can pick either or. If I want to, I can go hunt. I can go bounty hunting. I can go look up alien planets. Or if I don't feel like it and I kind of just want to play a game and kind of chill playing it, I can do the trade market. Trade materials, trade items, work on building my ships, and work on basically getting my lands and things. My areas built up and built up my homes and stuff. So this one looks kind of interesting. I want to see more of it though. So right now I'm gonna say buy at a sale, cop at a sale.
Okay. Tunic, that's coming to PlayStation this year. I want to start it off with you there, 9-ball. Copper drop.
It's Zelda with the fox.
Heard that. Mildewy carrot, copper drop.
Cop, same reason. I mean, come on. It's like you furried Zelda, but it's adorable.
I'm in that same camp as far as cop, but my reason is different. It's multiplayer.
Ah.
Yeah, so it has the cooperative capabilities, and so there's something like that. If it gives me
So-
the tribes in Midgard type of feel.
It's what the Orcarina is it the Orcarina of Time that gets you the 4 different links there, Nine Ball? I'm trying to remember.
Oh God, it's been forever since I did Zelda.
It's same here. I got friends who are Zelda nuts who could tell me. But I remember there was ones like you get 4 of them, but it wasn't multiplayer or anything. But it's like you just had the 4 of them that you had to deal with, and part of the story. I could have sworn it was Orcarina of Time.
I think that's Majora's Mask. That sounds.
Or
like
is it Majora's Mask? Maybe, I don't know. You know, so it's. I just remember that they did one where it was like that. I'm like, we're just gonna have like a fox and a green tunic, a red tunic, a blue tunic, and whatever the other one was.
Well, yeah,
that's the only difference.
Yeah, that's my reasoning for that one. And then lastly, but not leastly, Eternights. That one I will start it off by saying that is a absolute cop for me. I have been interested in jumping to the side Persona. Have yet to actually do it. Part of it is because the fear that I have is I feel like I might have to play the other Personas first.
No.
Is it like Final Fantasy to where they're each their different thing?
This one is I play in Persona 4 and I play Persona 3 and 4. Persona 3 and 4 are both standalone, so you don't have to really play like the sequels. They're kind of like the Tales of series.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy stuff like that.
That was my thing. I didn't know if I didn't know if the characters carried over from the first one all the way to the fifth one.
They have certain elements from games, like Final Fantasy. Them all have like Shiva or Ifrit,
Sid and stuff like that.
Yeah, things that carry over. Bro.
That's giving me more of a comfort to jump into it. Then that's giving me more of that. So, being a PlayStation 5 owner, we have Persona 5 original that's on the PS5 that you're able to get. I think it's removed by now because they did an update to the PlayStation Plus collection. But for us, we should still have it. I've yet to actually start it. For one, I know it's a 100-hour game, and two, I had that fear just like if I start it, is it going to make sense for me? Like, am I supposed to be going back and playing Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3, anything like that? So now hearing that from you is making me more like, okay, let me go ahead and pick this up. But fast forwarding, the reason why I said cop for Eternights is because it gave me that Persona vibe, but it's not Persona. So if this was something that's going to be very similar to Persona, I wanted to get inside of it, hit the ground running with it. Mildewy.
Mildewy?
Copper drop.
I was thinking about this one, and I'm just gonna have to drop it. I mean, the Persona series looks good. My bro TBF Abyss loves playing the series and all, and he's told me about it, and it definitely looks interesting. It's just I've got so many other games I play and all, and I don't know when I'd ever have the time to really get into the series because, like, I'll say I've never touched a single Persona, and everyone's like, "Well, you should start with this one." And I'm like I said, I've got so many other games to play, and as you've heard from my other cops, like that's a lot on the list currently stacking up. So it's right now, it's just gonna have to be a drop. I could change my mind later. 2023 isn't too far away, so who knows?
It's the 9-ball copper drop.
Oh, this one hurts me, but I'm gonna drop it for now. And weirdly enough, right now nothing screams to me. Like it looks almost exactly like Persona. I want to see before I say even a cop or a cop at a sale. I want to see like something more, something that distinguishes it. Like I don't want to play a game that's exactly like a Persona.
Right, yeah.
It looks good, and I know the Persona thing. I mean, I heard you would say about 100 hours, but it's probably gonna be longer because Persona's always been about. It's like a RPG mixed with a fight with a.
You said it's probably going to be longer.
Like because I don't know if the 100 hours is the base gameplay or is that including all the little nicks and shit that they've thrown in there to hide on stuff.
JRPG mixed with a visual novel in some regard.
Not only that, but replayability, you gotta count in too, because like you may have to go one way and then you're like, oh, I want to do this other way now, So, because if I remember right from what Abyss did, it's based on like the day system. So like you have days that you go through.
Yeah, you go
especially
through
in
different
Royals.
days, and
Like if you miss something, then it's like then it affects whatever is on the next day. So it's like you got to be careful with it, and it can affect your playstyle. So like I said, it looks fantastic and awesome. Something I get lost into. I just can't get lost into it right now because I got too much stuff I got to play through. So if it goes on sale, maybe further down the line with the rest of the stuff and all, like this is for Persona stuff. Like if the Persona stuff goes on sale on PC and all that, I'll probably get it. But as of right now, Eater Nights is definitely a drop because I just don't have the time.
I got
Now
Persona.
I will say this. This. We do have a Eater Nights story that we're ending off with before we get to the fun ones on that. So after we read that, maybe you guys will change your mind. Maybe not. Maybe we'll still stay the same. But I just wanted to kind of pick your guys' brain on that just to see what you guys were at for the state of play. A quick little run through real fast. We do have a slight little update to the Fantasy Gaming League Critic. And I'm not going to go through the whole nooks and crannies of what the Fantasy Gaming League is. Hopefully you guys have been following us for a while. The one thing I will say is that's a fantasy football style system to where we are all against each other, and it is on 100-point scale, all the good stuff. But here we have right here is Moga, make Ohio great again. He's still in first place right now. All right, he has Elden Ring with 31 points, Pokemon Legends Arceus 14 points, Sifu 10 points, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga 12 points. Pending right now for on his list is Marvel's Midnight Suns, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and he has 2 open spots. He has the counter pick of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and he has 67 points in total. In second place right now is Carrot Patch Inc., who has Gran Turismo 7, 17 points, Forspoken pending, Tunic 15 points, Salt and Sacrifice 6 points, Hogwarts Legacy, or then he has everything that's pending is Splatoon 3, Stray, Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, and Hogwarts Legacy. And he has a counter pick of Chocobo GP, which got him 5 points because it did poorly on a grading scale wise. And he has 43 points right now in second place. Third place is me with ALWT Gaming. I have Horizon Forbidden West, 18 points. Ghostwire Tokyo, 6 points. King of Fighters 15, 11 points. And then I have what's all pending is the Plague Tale Requiem, Gotham Knights, Mario Strikers Battle League, the Callisto Protocol. I have an open spot that has set to pick up a game on, and Bayonetta 3. That is my counter pick. And I have 36 points on that, which 36 is actually my favorite number. And then we actually have tied right now for fourth place. But with that tie, I believe, let me see, that's 1, 2, 3, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, technically, Zaka Corp is truly fourth place, and then Renzoku-kin is fifth place. But the list right here, I'm going to read off of Zaka Corp's first. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, 8 points. Total War Warhammer 3 is 16 points. Everything that's pending is Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, Saints Row, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Warhammer 40k, Dark Tide, and Scorn. He has a counter pick of Marvel's Midnight Suns. And then, like I said, also tied for fourth place is Renzoku-kin, who has God of War Ragnarok, or what is out is Triangle Strategy, 13 points. Suicide Squad Kill Justice League was delayed until next year. So I just mentioned that because he has officially got 0 points for that. Chocobo GP got him negative 5 points. Kirby and the Forgotten Land got him 15 points. Final Fantasy 16 is not coming out this year, so that officially got him 0 points. And then what's pending for him is God of War Ragnarok and Metro Prime 4. That is it that's pending for him.
That is not coming out.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. They haven't even spoken Metroid Prime 4.
They gave us one trailer, which is pretty much them doing a black screen to the freaking logo of Metroid Prime 4, and that was it. And that was like, what, 2020?
Never say never, because we're still in the E3
Fightful.
Summer Game Fest portion. So in the next week or two, it could pop up. It could pop up at any point this month. But I will say, if it doesn't pop up
this year,
it's still possible. It could be winter. It can be winter. Now, if it does not come out, like if there is no mention of it at all this month, I don't think it's going to come out this year at all. And then he has an open spot, and he has a successful counter pick of Diablo Immortal, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But that got him 2 points. And then in last place right now is LSB Live with Illuminatus Living. He has Dying Light 2 Stay Human, 6 points. Stranger of Paradise Origins, 3 points. That went up. That was at 71. Now it's at 73.
Proud of him.
Diablo Immortal came out recently and got reviewed bomb. I actually saw an article about it, but it got review bombed, and it has -2 points, which is 68 on Metacritic. Everything that's pending right now for him is Bayonetta 3, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Shovel Knight Dig. He has 2 open spots. He has a counter pick of Saints Row. So that's your current standings right now for the Fantasy Gaming League, for anyone that is keeping track on that. And of course, if you guys want to know more about that, you guys can either listen to the previous podcasts, or you guys can check us out when we talk about that probably this Thursday when we do our reaction, which I do have a special guest, by the way, that's coming out on Thursday that's going to be live reacting with us. Now, getting inside the story number 1. There's 3 stories in this one, all right? Yeah, I called this story Showcase Central, because there's a lot to dissect here. First one is Summer Game Fest. Eddie Makic. The first 2 are from Eddie Makic, and then the last one is from Jason Finelli, and they're all from GameSpot. So Eddie Makic from GameSpot says this in the article. Summer Game Fest live organizer and host Jeff Keighley has advised fans to manage their expectations for this week's event, confirming there will be, quote-unquote, a couple of new game announcements. The show will be more focused on games that have already been announced, Keighley said. Quote, we've got a couple of new game announcements in the show, and hopefully some surprises if everything holds. But it definitely is a show that's primarily focused on stuff that's announced, Keighley said during a recent Twitter Space discussion, as transcribed by VGC, Video Game Chronicles. Keighley said that people can expect to see games like Callisto Protocol, Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare 2, Gotham Knights, and Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course during the event, while Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be there as well for some kind of announcement. Quote, we're doing some good stuff for you, but definitely manage your expectations in terms of the Megaton shocks that you're expecting, Keighley said. Quote, this is not the Game Awards. We've got lots of good stuff to show you, but buyer beware of some of the crazy rumors I'm seeing out in terms of things people should expect to get announced. So
this is not the show you are looking for.
That's what I got from that. So before I go inside,
this is not the show I'm looking for.
So before I jump into that, does anyone have any commentary real quick? And what would your hype level be on a scale of 1 to 10 for now hearing what the Summer Game Fest is potentially going to be this Thursday?
So you're asking... Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead, Dimeball.
So what you're asking me is this a non-Silent Hill event?
That's pretty much what I'm asking.
Yeah, probably a non-Silent Hill event. I'm gonna have to wait for the video game awards for the.
Well, hold on. Silent Hill is kind of announced. It kind of is.
Wow.
I mean, it's leaked. So
I mean, we'll leave it at that. It's leaked.
Yeah.
There's leaks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably more from Hellblade and stuff, though. I just want to get dates of some of my stuff. So,
do you think that's going to be here? Or do you think that's going to be at Xbox's event on Sunday?
Well, it's going to probably definitely be on Xbox if you think about it. But Silent Hill might show up.
Mildewy. Oh, wait. Before we go to Mildewy, scale of 1 to 10. After hearing this now, what's your excitement level at there in Nineball?
At a 7.
That's 7. All right, cool. Mildewy.
I'm gonna say 7 as well, just because I definitely am excited to see more on these games, which is what I'm hoping we're gonna get. Is gonna get more information on them, probably, and like he said, he was kind of vague about it because he said, this is on stuff that's already been announced, but that's pretty much, that kind of leaves it wide open because you're talking about stuff that's announced, so you could have something that just was teasered, like Metroid Prime 4, but they could be given more out of now, because it has been announced that it's in the production works. It's not like a Silent Hill where it's never been confirmed, Sorry, Nineball. So I'm definitely still excited to see what they do and what they give us and what they're talking about, but I'm not going to go in expecting like a game awards where it's like we're gonna get to know like what is the best game, and then also new stuff for 2023 that we're gonna have to wait for. While so yeah, I'm gonna go 7 out of 10.
I'm actually going to get a little spicy with my hype level. I'm going to say 8 out of 10.
Oh dear lord.
I'm going to say 8 out of 10. I know he said manage your
I'm going to need you to rein it in there, Malachi. I need you to rein that in.
I know he said...
Don't make me call your wife.
I know he said set your expectations. I know he said that. Something is like low-key telling me, I don't know why, but something is low-key telling me that he's telling us that to throw us off the scent. Like, something is telling me that that's what he's doing.
He's low-keying us?
Yeah, he's low-keying us. As far as Metro Prime, I don't see that being there because when I look at the partner lineup, this is what it says.
I was just using it as an example.
Yeah. But I just want for anyone that's audio listeners just listening, everything like that, just for you guys.
You know what? Give us this one dream, okay?
The partner lineup is looking like this. We have 2K, Activision, Atlas, Bandai Namco, Bloober, Capcom, Coffee Stain, Deep Silver, Devolver, Digital Extremes, Dotemu.
Warframe.
EA, Epic Games, Focus Entertainment, Frost Giant, Humble Games, Level Infinite, Mediatonic, MiHoYo, Netflix, PlayStation, Raw Fury, GameStone Gaming Hub, Sega, Square Enix, Skybound Games, Steam, Studio MDHR, Tribeca Festival, Warner Brothers, Xbox, and that's it. So we don't see the Nintendo logo up here, which is why I say that. And I know you
probably never will because Nintendo is very on their own unless it's like Game of the Year awards. Then they'll
might just bust into the show like a party crasher or the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, that is a possibility because it does say and more. So there is a possibility that
Snorlax just comes trudging in, falls on the stage, and starts going to sleep while someone sits on top of him and talks.
Well, the reason, but like I said, the reason why I went ahead and pulled out the 8 out of 10 again because like I feel like maybe some of these announcements are like super crazy out there. We're like, yeah, we're going to see Bloodborne 2 here. Like, I think that's something that's like way out there. He's just like, all right, let me go ahead and bring them a little bit more back to reality.
Don't hype me in that way.
What I'm saying is that I think that those rumors are floating around here, and he's seeing that, and he's just like, all right, we got some stuff, but it's not this stuff. Let's go ahead and try to reel it back in. So I think he's trying to give us like an expectation of a former state of play, not the last state of play we had because that was a banger state of play, but before that, the state of plays we were getting was mediocre. Some of them were even poor, depending on who's watching them. But I think that he's trying to give us try to get us at that level of expectancy. But I feel like there's something that's there that Jeff is not saying. So I don't know. Like, and to say it's not the Game Awards, like, what do you know, Jeff? What do you know? So, that's why my hype level's at an 8 out of 10.
The better question is, what does he not know?
True. So, the second part of this, continuing on with the showcase news, another Xbox showcase. Our boy Eddie, once again from GameSpot, says this. In addition to the main Xbox and Bethesda showcase on June 12th, Microsoft will be hosting an extended show a few days later, promising even more reveals. In a blog post, Microsoft announced that the Xbox showcase extended will take place on Tuesday, June 14th, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Microsoft said it will share new trailers, take deeper looks into the news from the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and speak with some of your favorite game creators as part of the event. There is no word yet, however, on what games may show up during the extended event. It seems like we'll know more of the following at the main Xbox showcase on June 12th, so keep checking back for more. So now I'm going to I'm actually going to start this one off. I think what's going to happen at the extended showcase, I think they're going to have a couple of new stuff. I think all their banger stuff is going to be on Sunday. I think Tuesday is probably going to be a couple stuff that's like repeat from Sunday, like just in case you missed it or something like that, maybe a little bit more of a deeper dive or something like that. and then maybe some new games that's coming to Game Pass. Like that's kind of what I'm looking at as next Tuesday being is almost like a Game Pass because it's going to be Xbox Extended, but then for Sunday that's going to be Xbox plus Bethesda. So they're going to show some Bethesda stuff, but they're also going to show some Xbox stuff. But I think that next Tuesday, a week from today, is going to be an Xbox Game Pass day, if you will. That's kind of what I'm looking at it as. And with that being said, for anyone that's watching right now, again, we're going to react to it. It's not going to be a live react because we won't be streaming until 6, and this is at 1 p.m. But we are going to react to it as part of our ALWT Things Gaming episode 23. So it'll be that instead. But yeah. So my hype level for this one would be at a 6 for me. 6 out of 10. Mildewy.
I'm gonna go 5.
Fair. What's your reasons?
It just, I mean, one, like I haven't been on Xbox in so long. Two, just, the system for their past thing kind of still baffles me. I mean, a lot of people love it. Awesome. Glad it works for them. It just doesn't really strike me as being like something I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta know. I'm like, I still would like to know what they're doing, but it's not something that's like I must know, like PlayStation or any Steam launches or games or information, stuff like that. So that is just a 5 for me for now.
9 ball.
I'm gonna say an 8.
I'll wear the Xbox colors too. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put the 8 on this one.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is probably gonna be big for them. Since which Xbox has did no moves and have been acquiring company after company. About now is when they should start bringing out their guns. About now, they should be showing stuff that they have in the works.
So let me ask you this. I know you're still going on your topic here, but do you think that they're still going to be bringing out more guns after 2 days later after the Xbox Bethesda showcase? That's my thing. Like I think their biggest stuff is going to be on Sunday, and then Tuesday, 2 days later, is going to be maybe some repeat stuff, as well as like some maybe hidden gems that's come to Game Pass or something like that. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be on the same level as the Xbox Bethesda showcase. I could be wrong, but with that much time in between, do you think that's really going to be banger after banger that close in between?
They could. I have a feeling they got a lot. They by now they should have a lot. You don't buy all these companies and start having them do things just to show I have money. And I just watched a video about Xbox, so they pretty much know what they do. They're pretty aggressive in the market of where they go. So I feel like this is probably going to be a show-off of all their new games and as to why you need to get in the Xbox eco place. This is why you need to do this. They might introduce more newer tiers or a way of maybe a form of competition, more of a competition for the Spartacus or something. They might introduce newer style of games, gameplay. I know they're talking about putting Game Pass on smart TVs. They might start showing that off, how you get more of it in the ecosystem, getting on your smartphones with it. Maybe a bunch of stuff on there. Tuesday, the second one, I'm not sure. And that's the hard one because...
Well, that's what this is talking about. This is specifically Tuesday. This is not talking about the Xbox Bethesda, which that one I think is going to be huge. This is specifically talking about Tuesday, which is 2 days after Bethesda.
I still think it's going to be pretty big because you book a day and then go, well, we'll get this day too. That means we got more.
Okay.
They going to have you don't book another one that close to your big banger and then just release a bunch of little stuff. They probably have going to hold back a couple little things and go to the other company because this is Xbox and Bethesda. So they may hold some of the other stuff, maybe even like Hellblade 2 until that next one, and maybe show off that at a date and gameplay, stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, maybe even show, who knows, I know on the big one, but that's when they probably showed more into the Elder Scrolls and definitely Skyfall. Starfield. I don't know why I call it Skyfall. Starfield will
Starfield's gonna be Sunday for a fact. That's not. Yeah, it's not gonna be Tuesday. But yeah, that's definitely gonna be Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that is Bethesda right there. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe another Fallout. I don't know if it's gonna be Fallout 5, but maybe a Fallout smaller spin-off game or something.
Ooh. Now that would be tempting, but they better release on PC because that's the only way I'm getting it right now.
The last showcase story is Capcom Incoming. Jason Finelli from GameSpot says this in the article. The summer of gaming news continues to get more and more crowded as Capcom has announced its own streaming event, Capcom Showcase, on June 13th. So this is this is next Tuesday as well, isn't it? No, that's Monday. That's one that's on Monday. Okay. Mm-hmm. The event will premiere at 3 p.m. Pacific, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for us, with June 13th with approximately 35 minutes of news. According to the official announcement, it will dive deeper into the details on the news on previously announced titles. The events can be watched on live on official Capcom YouTube and Twitch channels. The event will also be broadcast through official co-stream and creators, including here on GameSpot. While no specific games have been confirmed for Capcom Showcase, the company has announced multiple games that are currently in development. That list includes the following: Capcom Fighting Collection, Capcom Arcade Second Stadium, Resident Evil Reverse, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Exo Primal, Pragmata, Street Fighter 6, and Resident Evil Village VR. So going in reverse, I want to start off with you there, the Capcom hero there, Nineball. What does this do for you, and where's your hype level for this one on a scale of 1 to 10?
This one's, oh my god, this one also has mine. This one, I want to say more than Microsoft. Well, I want to say around Microsoft. I might have to actually throw this one also in the 8 category. Capcom has a lot of titles. You can go to the Monster Hunter series. You've got the Resident Evil series. You got the Reverse, like they said, the Reverse series. You got the Marvel vs. Capcom. You got the Street Fighters. Capcom is probably one of the bigger developers out there that's still independent. They're going to have a lot of titles they can pull from. They have a lot of games they can pull from, and they're going to have a lot of things they can do with them. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good one.
I'm right there with you. I put it on the 7 category for the simple fact of the matter that says, according to the official announcement, it will dive deeper into details and news on previously announced titles. With that, I'm pretty confident we're not going to get a single brand new title, and that's okay. I think what they're going to end up doing is just showing, like, I'm interested in more stuff that they're going to show us. So if they do have more details on Street Fighter 6, I feel like it might be a little too early for that, especially since they just showed it at the State of Play, like, just recently. So I don't think that that's going to be there. But again, I could be wrong. It could be there because that is officially their own brand right there. That's their own game. I think we might see more stuff on Exo Primal, which as a multiplayer game, that does interest me. We might see more details about Pragmata, which also interests me too as well. But as far as like a brand new game announcement, like I don't think we're going to see anything like that. Which that's the part that's unfortunate. But again, it's setting my expectations to where I'm not going to get any new stuff. I am just going to be able to know what's already out and maybe see a little bit more into what they have to offer for these games that's coming out. Mildewy.
I mean, I would like to hear maybe more on. Well, no, they probably wouldn't do it now because they're just still launching Sunbreaker, so they wouldn't announce anything on the console version, PC, new console version for Monster Hunter. So we won't hear about that for a while. So I mean, this one is probably just another 5 out of 10 for me. Like, don't get me wrong, like they've got a lot of good games out there, but a lot of them are fighting based, excluding Monster Hunter series, which I love. But like I said, we've already got so much information on Sunbreaker. They actually announced more of it at Nintendo's release. So that one I don't think they're going to do anything on. And unless they really are going to announce now the information for the console version of the next Monster Hunter game, I don't really have much in there that's interesting me. Like I said, for the Xbox One, it'd still be interesting to know what they've got coming out, but I don't play enough of them to really be that involved in that in depth of like, oh my god. Yeah.
Heard that. Story number 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is around the corner. Who has Xenoblade Chronicles on their fantasy league?
That'd be me.
That'd be you. Okay.
Give it to 9-Ball. Give it to him. Let's go.
Stephen Petit from GameSpot says this in the article. We're less than 2 months away from the release of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the hotly anticipated Nintendo Switch exclusive RPG that was officially released earlier this year. In a surprise move, Nintendo moved up the release date from its September 2022 window up to July 29th. If you know you're going to pick up Xenoblade Chronicles 3, pre-orders are available now. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is also getting a special edition which is exclusive to the My Nintendo store and goes live on June 8th. Nintendo has yet to announce any pre-order bonuses for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. However, that could change in the future since it's fairly common for retailers to offer unique pre-order bonuses for Nintendo Switch exclusives. 9-Ball, since you have it on your Fantasy Gaming League list, are you interested in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as a independent gamer? I know that right now you don't have a Switch, but pretending you have a Switch, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 something that you would be interested in? And how hype are you for this on your Fantasy Gaming League?
I feel like it's gonna do well. It's Nintendo for starters. Nintendo generally does a really good job on their games. I'm very hyped for it. If I had one, I would probably pick it up. It's just there are some games on a Switch, but it's not enough for me to really pick up yet. And not to mention, I have enough consoles already. So I am excited. It's just I just can't. I'm not going to pick it up right now.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. Mildewy Carrot, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Are you a Xeno fan?
I've been dabbled in it, but I've not gotten hardcore into it because I have gotten distracted by other things. So, I believe it was on Wii and Wii U originally, and I only did it because I had friends who had a Wii. I didn't have a Wii at the time because it was a little pizza box. It didn't spark with me. Right now I do have a Switch because I've been playing Monster Hunter a lot, and Breath of the Wilds are two really good games. I feel like are really worth it. Plus the Pokemon games are really good too. So there's a few in there, so it's not a complete waste. But I would definitely probably pick it up, but I probably may wait on sale. Wouldn't be a first date thing. So, but it's a game series that does have my interest for sure.
I'm in the same boat. It has my interest, but very similar to my fears for Persona. I feel like I have to play the first two in order to understand what's going on. This one feels like you have to play the first two.
This I would definitely say yes to, and not because I'm just trying to get people out there to buy the games and give them more money. No, it's it's very story driven.
Yeah,
and I feel like all three of them connect in.
Yeah,
don't quote me on that, but I do feel like there's history and lore in there for all.
And that's the thing that is keeping me away from it is the fact that I haven't played the first two, at least not to the I can't remember if I even touched it, to be honest with you. Even dabbled in it a little bit. If I have, it's been so long ago, but I can't remember if I ever actually did. So for me, I'm excited for people that want to jump inside Xenoblade. I would just myself would have to start with one, and I know that I had to dive in some time on that. So, yeah. Story number 3, but before we go inside story number 3, let me remind you guys that's listening and watching right now live, you guys can go to RepSports, REPPSports.com, type in ALWT Gaming if you guys want your Raise energy drinks, which is quite delicious, 0 sugar. But yeah, they have several different flavors out there. If you type in ALWT Gaming at checkout, you get 15% off your workout powders, your water supplements, your t-shirts, all that swag stuff, but also off your Raise energy drinks. So raise the roof, raise your spirit, raise your gaming capabilities. Raise energy drinks again. RepSports, REPPSports.com, type in ALWT Gaming at checkout. Story number 3. The prince is in trouble. Luke Plunkett from Kotaku.
I go for princesses.
Luke Plunkett from Kotaku says this in the article. You might remember that the classic time-shifting platformer Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is getting a fancy remake. Announced in 2020, it was originally due out in January 2021. Then it was delayed. And then delayed again as the project moved studios. Now it's being delayed once more, only this time it has been delayed straight to hell. over the weekend reports began surfacing that the game was being delisted from retailers, leading fans to assume that the project has been canceled. That was both true and not quite true. While the game is indeed being delisted from retailers, meaning you can no longer pre-order it, it hasn't been outright canceled. That said, I'm not telling anyone breaking news here. It doesn't sound like the project is in great shape. Having been in development at Ubisoft's two Indian studios for years, it was only just last month that it was announced that the game has been pulled from those teams and was moving to the original 2003 game's developer, Ubisoft Montreal, instead. So, just a little update there. I really have no commentary about it personally. Does anyone have any commentary for Prince of Persia at all? Like, does anyone care?
It's not good if things keep bouncing around like that. So,
I'm
kind of with them on it, saying that's it's a risk. It's at risk right now. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's like, oh my god, this is dead, but I'm definitely gonna say.
Oh, I'll say it. I think it's dead.
I agree 100%. It's dead.
Yeah, I think it's
cremated. Yeah. Who's gonna remember this game?
I forgot until it became a story.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, but until they put it down, it's not dead yet.
The fat lady hasn't sung yet.
It's on life. Okay, it's not dead. It's on life support.
But now, if you tell me they've called Kevorkian for consulting, then I'm definitely gonna say no. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then over to the fat lady sings, but she did definitely hum a few bars.
Yeah. She had a whole orchestra with this one.
Yeah. So yeah,
and that song was Amazing Grace.
So we're all in agreement then right now that, I mean, yeah, it's in a sad state. But yeah, there's not really much more to talk about right there. It's just
very
in a sad
state.
Mercy killed the franchise.
Just let it go. Just let it sink in the sand. Sink into the sands of time.
Yeah. Story number 4: a unique look into Eternights. Kimberly Walsh from Game Informer says this in her article. Sony's State of Play debuted a quirky dating action game called Eternights. In it, the independent developer Studio Sai invites you to find love in the most trying times during an apocalypse. The game challenges you to make the most of life during the catastrophic situations. That means finding life and saving the world. While the mysterious entity infects humans and turns them into monsters, you must race against the clock to find your answer for survival, especially if you want to save your new relationship. In the game, you scavenge, dungeon crawl, and date your way to answers. But beware that you're doing it all on a deadline, with the clock constantly ticking, reminding you to meet your deadlines. Studio Side promises dungeons with traps and puzzles alongside fun dancing minigames. You also get to pick from a cast of 5 characters for your romantic pursuits, each with their own unique stories and skills to help you battle. The action showcase in the trailer looked fast-paced and featured mostly hacking and slashing away at baddies while using face buttons to unleash powerful skills and magical abilities. There was even a motorcycle sequence that you can get your adrenaline pumping. You can watch the trailer above, which is on Game Informer's site. You can watch the trailer above to see all the action for yourself. Get ready to hold hands, make out, and fight to stay alive while Eternights debuts on PS5 and PS4 and PC sometime early 2023. That actually, to be honest with you, reading that did actually increase my hype level a little bit more.
All I gotta say is, be careful when you port the PC.
I'm not sure if it's even necessarily going to be a port. I think it's just going to come out. It's not like how Final Fantasy.
What I'm saying is, the modding community has a very certain view on how they should mod these types of games when you pull a dating sim over. So that's all I'm just saying. It's like, be prepared when you try to give it to PC.
Gotcha.
I mean, they could do it like I know Night of the Dead and some other games I play, like they don't allow modding, so you could definitely do it. But I'm gonna say if you allow modding, because you're talking like a full dating sim, and I saw some of those video things, and you're like, it's typical anime things, but the modding community can be, you can have the light and the dark side, and all in between. You've got the black and white and gray rainbow in there. So,
but
it definitely has a lot of unique elements, like dating sim with like apocalyptic fighting and all that, which is kind of unique. But I'm kind of curious on like it sounds like it's just your one character and that's it. Like you can't make a character at all,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
no,
go
it's-
through it.
I
Which
think I think it's gonna be more similar to like how Persona is, because I don't think Persona you can create a person if I'm not mistaken.
You can play between the two.
Gotcha. So
You
so
have
like
like a male or
Scarlet-
female character.
Scarlet Nexus then.
yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe they'll allow that kind of aspect, but it's like it seems some of these characters are like some of the side characters are pretty set in there. I'm like, if I remember right, and just from what I saw, just based on appearances, not judging anyone, but it just looked like three. Like I was thinking, like 3 girls and a guy, or something like 4 girls and a guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Plus the main character, which was a guy. So I don't know, but I feel like nowadays, like you've got the technology and capabilities to allow these things to be more like open spread. Yeah, if I want to say, like you can be more like free flowing and informing with all this stuff. But I feel like with like when you put dating sim tag on it though, like it does make it more just straight linear, almost a little too much. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how they combine the two elements. When you say like action games,
there's definitely going to be some sort of decision making in there that's very similar to like Dragon Age. I would assume
that was what I was going to say. Is like I feel like it would go Dragon Age, Mass Effect routes where it's like if you start going for one character and then kind of side off to the other character, you're going to have confrontations and other stuff like there and all that. But it's more just like the thing with Dragon Age and Mass Effect though is like you could be male or female and then choose certain characters to romance based upon their own preferences, those characters' preferences.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to be the case in here. They may have just a straight taking a dating sim game, like where you have just the one character going through it and then put on the Persona 5 aspects of combat, apocalypse, survival, and that sort of stuff with the daytimers on it. I don't know. I never really touched into those games a lot. They were never my niche to ever get into. So it's interesting to see that they want to do this, and I wish them the best with it. And I hope they have a good mixture to where it works, and then the fans love it. So
yeah, and I mean I'm definitely in because it's an indie, this developer's first game, and it looks great to me. So it definitely is something that's just like okay, let me. And what I had said
baby's
off
first
stream,
game.
What I had said off stream previously too, as well, is that like this developer, like she became a super fan 2 years ago of Persona 5 or a Persona series. She played, I think it was Persona 4 Golden. Then she played the Persona 5, and she loved them both so much that it encouraged her and inspired her to quit her job and start making Eternights. And now 2 years later, here it is. Right, we're seeing gameplay trailers of it. We're seeing actual footage of it. So I don't know how in depth it is going to be of the decision making, but I mean everything that she showed me it looked good to me. So I'm definitely excited to see what that looks like next year. Nineball, do you have any addition? Does this change your mind at all, or is your thought process still the same?
Pretty much right now, still the same. I mean, I just keep my eye on it a bit more. I still want to see more of it. It sounds a lot more like Persona.
Mm-hmm.
Persona had I believe deadlines and stuff. She had to do stuff by this amount of time
and stuff. Yeah.
I believe Mitsuru, what's her name? I forgot her name. Mitsuru would tell you when certain days you couldn't do things. They let you know, well, this day, it's not safe to go in there or something. It also sounds a bit like, can't believe we're bringing this game, but I just talked about it. Final Fantasy 13, Lightning's Revenge.
Okay.
Yep.
Part 3.
Yep.
You had a certain amount of time to save.
Lightning's Return.
Yeah, Return. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, Lightning's Return. Yeah, you had 5 days, and in each day you had X amount of hours in the day and all to do stuff, and depending upon what you did, you got points and everything, and you had to get X amount. I actually liked that. That was a lot of fun to me because very, very time constraining. You had to make the right choice, or you figure out the right pass, or else, oopsie.
The only thing I would say is if it upgraded, it might have upgraded to just pick up at a deep discount right now.
Heard that.
I still want to see more of it before I go,
Now here's the thing that I just thought about that I think would be cool. Because if they did say it's going to be on PlayStation 4, PS5, and PC, that's all that they said. What if they stray this thing? What if when it comes out, it's also on Premium Plus and Extra?
then I'll give it a go.
You know what I mean? It's possible. I mean, it just came in my head just now because that's what they're doing for Stray. And I think there's much more hype behind Stray than there is Eternights, since we just saw Eternights less than a week ago. You know what I mean? For the first time ever. With that being said, Stray is also indie developer. Eternights is going to be indie developer. I don't see PlayStation putting their first party games on like a day and date service like how it is right now for Stray, but for Eternights, it's very possible. So that's something to be on the lookout for.
That wouldn't be too big of a shock. I mean, even when you go back to games like, what I think of as Portal.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, when Portal initially launched, it launched on the orange box.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't sure how it would do, and they didn't know if it was going to be good enough for a standalone. And it did incredibly well, which they gave the green light, again, with a smaller party, to do part 2. And part 2 actually did great. To be honest, it went well past expectations of a game.
Mm-hmm.
The game, it's one of my top favorite. It has one of my favorite villains, GLaDOS. It was hilarious. It's kind of like a dark comedy. It's a puzzle game mixed with a dark comedy. They had a professional comedian do the one guy's voice too, the other robot. It was pretty funny. But going back to this, it could be a shocker. And I feel like that would be the best opportunity to get it out there. Maybe if they get like a good enough response from it, they could do the same thing. That way, oh, wow, people are really enjoying this game. Let's get some people on this and maybe we can do a sequel or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope. Again, I'm not trying to get my hopes up. It's already up, but now that I just thought about it. But I really do hope that this is going to be day and date for the new Plus membership. Like, I think that would be an amazing thing for Eternights. And I would save money, but also really enjoy getting to try it out.
Yeah.
I definitely agree, though, that Guy with Nine Balls, like, I feel like this thing could get a lot of price because, like you said, they kind of took a lot of inspiration from Persona. So if they do it right to where they're different enough from Persona to where they can keep the fan base towards, like, they now have 2 types of games that they can play through, you could definitely go forward into a secondary one. But they have to do it right. So
yeah, one of the biggest fears that gets caught in Persona's shadow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but honestly, and again, I haven't played any of the Personas, but just looking at Persona, looking at this, they already look like they're 2 entirely different games. Just like, obviously you could tell that this is inspired by Persona, but it doesn't, like, I don't think Persona is apocalyptic. You know what I mean? I don't think it's anything like that.
No, Persona is definitely what am I trying to say here? It's definitely like current time. Like, it's not like apocalyptic, but it definitely goes to the darker side of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like
you're fighting monsters like this.
You're fighting monsters, but not in the real, like, not in a real world. Like, you're in the Persona world, which is where, like, your outer skin is stripped away, and, like, you see, like, your true demon, like, what you look like underneath you based on actions and stuff like that. So
yeah, it really depends on Personas each one. If I know part 3, it took place between, they call it like the dark hour. So it'd be like the creatures will come out between 12 and 1. It's like an invisible hour that nobody can interact with except for these people, and the creatures will come out.
I do have one quick question before we go on over to the fun ones for you, Nineball. I saw that Persona 5 that's on the PlayStation Plus collection is a multiplayer game. It's 2 players.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I actually looked it up. I was like, it's 2 players. Like, so with that, all right, so that answers my question, because I was going to ask you if you knew how does that work? How does the 2-player work? Because I know that you can't be at the 9 to 5 next Saturday, but I was about to say, given the circumstance with me and Mildew, might be able to make that on 9 to 5. Plays through Persona 5 for the first time. Not all of it, but but I might be able to get the engine going and see if it's something that will be up our alley.
I'm looking now.
Yeah. As he's looking that up, I do want to throw out a fun one out there, which is Final Fantasy XIV Battle Royale? ? Exclamation mark. Ian Walker from Kotaku says this in their article. During a recent interview with Gamer, A prominent Japanese gaming website, Final Fantasy XIV, Naoki Yoshida, let slip that his team was at one point mulling the possibility of adding competitive battle royale in the online role-playing game. It sounds like it'll be a whole lot of fun too. The mode, according to the third-party translation on Reddit, was conceived as being limited to blue mages. Oh, the unique Final Fantasy XIV job that learns skills and spells from enemies rather than by leveling up. Yoshida explained that the players would need to gain abilities to fly and navigate a rapidly shrinking arena, two hallmarks of the battle royale genre, all while fending off their fellow blue mages. I'm not much of a battle royale fan, and dipping my toes into Final Fantasy XIV's other player versus player modes left mostly unsatisfied, but even so, it sounds very cool. The Blue Mage is a job that, while intriguing, has always intimidated me. Is largely segregated from most of the game's content due to its eccentricities. And Battle Royale could be the perfect way to get folks like me into finally checking it out. So it looks like they're going to have a. They were going to. I sound like they kind of scrapped that idea, but it does sound like at one point they're going to try to do a battle royale in Final Fantasy XIV for the PvP. That is just amazing for me for that one. That would have been awesome, I think, because that would have really reminded me of Spellbreak. But also, like, putting a game within a game already is just fantastic. Like, if you're able to have the MMO world to where, again, you're living in there, you already have the card game that's in there. You have these other mini games that's in there as well. So if you added the Battle Royale PvP, I haven't even touched the PvP side of it yet because I want to get through all the game proper, and then get to it. But yeah, like PvP in MMORPGs when I was playing on DC Universe was a lot of fun for me. It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun on WoW. It's just all the good people always play as Horde, and all the bad people always play as Alliance, and I picked Alliance.
Mm.
And we won some. It's just most of my team is just like mentally retarded. So they would go like capture the flag, and just see a team just go over there, and they would all fight at the bridge. You know, like we gotta go get the flag. Go get the flag. What? You know what? Never mind. I'll go get it.
Nine Balls just sneaking around like, you're a blue mage. I'm a rogue now.
They like the Horde just do to have people guard the flag. Our people just run straight up the middle. We'll just fight in the middle together.
Mm.
I also liked it on I would say Guild Wars 2, where they had server versus
that was a
server.
big one. Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to dive into those. I
did some World v. Worlds and Sieges on there. It's crazy because it's like hundreds of people on the server, and you have like a bunch of other people on the other server.
The one of the ones the one I did actually enjoy doing PvP on, I did it one time, was Arc-Age, where it was like a ship on ship, and you're able to fight across the ships and everything. That was so cool, man. That was so cool. Did my little boat get sunk? Yeah. But I was able to jump onto one of my ally ships who had like a huge Mayflower looking thing, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I've survived
That guy
quite a
in
few
his
arenas.
rowboat, like shooting them. They just don't even aim a cannon at them. They just drop a cannonball down at them, just right through. It's like, no.
Once you get that stuff down, though, it's fun. I mean, I did some arenas on WoW for a bit, and I would go as the healer. And you know you're gonna get chased down. I know I get chased down. Once I figured that out, I just figured out how to it wasn't so much how to heal your team, it's how to outlive their healer.
Other person, yeah.
Yeah. Once I figured that out, it got easier.
And one last little fun one for you guys before Nineball tells us about the co-op on Persona. June PlayStation Plus is out. Joshua Duckworth from Game Rant says this in the article. The time for the turned over on PS Plus games from May 22nd to June May 2022 to June 2022 has come. Last month, the PS Plus free games for May include FIFA, Curse of the Dead Guides, and Tribes of Midgard with the game seemingly to get mixed receptions. Not because they weren't good games, but rather they were niche. Placing them today, June 7th, are God of War, PS4, Naruto de Boruto, Shinobi Strikers, PS4, and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, PS4, PS5. These games will be available until July 5th, which time the new PS Plus free games for July will release. So, and this is the only commentary I have on this. I said this before and I'll say it again. I'm not thrilled about God of War being on there. It's been on there once before. It's part of the PlayStation Plus collection. I know that you have to be a PS5 owner for the PS Plus collection, but I don't like. You're giving me the same game over and over several times. Naruto de Boruto coming on out there. That's a good get. It doesn't do anything for me because I already bought it at launch, but that's a good get. Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl, which is Super Smash Brothers but with Nickelodeon characters, literally a Super Smash Brothers game. Nickelodeon. That's an amazing get right now. Like, I'm excited for that. And on top of that...
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, and on top of that, they had listened to the feedback of the audience, and yesterday, they had announced that they're bringing in voice acting for Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. I guess they didn't have it before, but now it does.
Oh.
And that's a big thing there. So that's going to excite people to get into it as of today and play some Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Those are great gets. God of War, like, I don't like it when they keep recycling some of these games that you're already including inside your other subscription, because it just feels like you're being lazy with it. Because they did the same thing for Bloodborne. I got Bloodborne before PS5 came out on the PlayStation Plus collection. I never had to buy it, but now it's included inside the PlayStation Plus collection. So it's just like, you've done this once before. This is not the first time you've done this, and it's happening again. Same thing for Detroit Become Human. That was on the PlayStation Plus collection. I never bought it, but I had that on PlayStation Plus previously, and now it's on PlayStation Plus collection. Granted, that was years ago, but for God of War, I feel like this has been on there like several times now. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's actually even included inside the tier list of premium and extra, which is just like, what are you doing? You're just giving us the same games in different forms. So that's my thing about it. That's my little rant. Again, shout out to Naruto de Boruto, Shinobi Ninja Strikers. That actually is a fun game. It really is. You can create your ninja and all that good stuff, and it is.
You played at that E3,
yeah,
E3
E3,
one,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we played at
Yeah,
E3.
that was actually fun. Yeah. It actually looks like it's got a story like
There
was two Naruto.
There's no stories.
There's no story.
No, there's no story.
I thought they were doing a story.
That's what because I asked the worker there specifically if there's a story, and she said yes. Because she couldn't tell me too much about it, but I was like, can you confirm it as a campaign? She said yes. And then I picked it up. I was expecting the campaign, like that, maybe my creative person. And there's like somewhat of a campaign, if you will, but it's really just like you training your ninja through these different like drop-in matches. And then you get to the end game. There's no final boss or anything.
So it's not like the... And now, like, you know, I'm not on people for playing, like, you know, the games, like, what is it? It was,
Ninja Storm?
Well, no, the Demon Souls game account where you just play through the campaign and all
it's
that.
not that. It's not
like,
that.
Well, like, because I played the 360 Naruto game, the one that actually kind of did that. But that was fun, though, because that was a whole unique concept in terms of the fighting and all. Yeah. So I kind of wish they come out with a game where like you could be your own ninja in Naruto world, but still have that free roam play story mode and all that stuff. Like,
yeah,
you know, kind of like what Xenoverse did. You know, the Xenoverse is so good for the DBZ universe. Like that was fantastic.
Yeah, and that's actually, and I'll give a little tip of the hat to
sorry,
Attack on Titan. No, you're good. You're good because I'm the same way. Like for me, it depends on the anime. If I want to replay through that world as the character, Demon Souls was definitely that game for me, and I still stand by it. Like, it was a fantastic. I beat the campaign on it, and I had a great time with it. Xenoverse was even higher for me because you are creating your person. It's literally like you're playing a brand new unwatched episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, it was awesome, and I loved that. But even a tip of the hat to a game on here that a lot of people probably slept on, Attack on Titan 2. Was one heck of a fantastic game. You're playing through, yes, Attack on Titan from the first episode all the way until a certain point. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but when you play it through all the way through a certain point, but you're playing as your created person and you're incorporated with the scout regiment, so you're experiencing stuff for yourself for the first time while fighting alongside Mikasa and Aaron and Armin and Levi, and that was awesome. That was absolutely spectacular.
Another one that does that that I don't think people really give credit to is SAO Guns and Bullets.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's in the GFFO universe, but it's a unique story though.
Yeah,
you're your own character getting involved.
All the SAO games do that. Yeah,
it's fantastic. So
yeah, all the Sword Art Online games do that. Like literally Hollow Fragment, even Lost Song, and
I think though you said though that some of them didn't allow you to create your own character and actually use them. And
in all of them, you can create your person. And the thing that was about in Hollow Fragment, you can do stuff that's almost like a Monster Hunter style campaign with your buddies. Mm-hmm. In Hollow Realization, you can do the same thing too as well. And you can either choose your creative person or you can choose the characters that's already out there like Kirito, Asa, and all that stuff. So you're able to do that in all of them. My qualm with Fatal Bullet was the fact that we can only co-op through like boss fights, and that is it. And it's not even boss fights that's of the main campaign. It's like, let's party up, let's go inside of a dungeon, and we'll just directly fight this boss fight that has nothing to do besides just raising up your person's level and getting like rare weapons. That's it. So in Hollow Realization, and that was the same thing for Lost Song. Lost Song, you couldn't do, like, it was a whole open world, you could fly and everything. It was actually pretty beautiful. But you cannot actually do those campaign-style missions with your buddy, even though you can have a full party. You can only do that with just the NPC. I believe in Hollow Fragment, and I believe in Hollow Realization, you actually can party up and venture out. But you can't do story stuff, but you can at least party up and venture out.
Yeah, I think you could do the same thing in Guns and Bullets. You can party up to dungeons
you can party up,
but you can't do the story mode.
Yeah, well, you can't even venture out into open world, because that was one thing I was trying. That was what I was looking forward to. Cause I was just like, oh, let's go ahead and do this.
Oh, we had to do the dungeon runs.
Yeah, we had to. Like it was literally just and it wasn't even like a full dungeon. It literally was That's like we queued up and we can fight the boss, and that was it. Just on to the next one. So that's the thing that was.
We may not have been far enough into that game, but
I was decently far. I tried it again. I tried it a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that's just the way it's designed, because
I tried to give it a save.
It did the same. It did the very similar thing as it did in Lost Song, because Lost Song I was really far, and I tried to link up with my buddies, and I was like, you can only do boss fights. I was like, oh, what? And yeah, and again, it can be fun, but it's just not what I was expecting from that. I was looking out to do an adventure, MMORPG style, but not even really a MMORPG. It's just, yeah. So I don't know how Alicization Lyricist is, though. That one is it looks like it's going to be similar to Hollow Fragment and Hollow Realization, to where you can venture off, but I haven't got far enough in Alicization Lyricist to confirm if that's really what it is. So that one's up for grabs still, and I would love for that one to be that way, because the Integrity Knights are just super cool. But yes, so I say all that to say, thank you guys very much for watching our ALWT Things Gaming episode 22, season 2.
Watching or listening.
Gaming. Yeah, watching or listening. Exactly. Good call out there. I can't remember if I asked you this or not, but did you find out any additional information there, Nineball, about the multiplayer for...
I don't think, but it sounds weird. I'd have to actually go on there and see how it works one day or something, because it sounds weird. I think they have a mode for that, but it's not really a story. It's different from the story.
And that's the thing that I was afraid of. Like, I'm hoping.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, that says Strikers. So what Persona 5 was it? Was Persona 5 Royal?
This should be Golden, because that's what's on the PlayStation Plus, or was on the PlayStation Plus, if it's still there.
It said Golden?
I believe so. I think it's just Persona 5 Golden. Or maybe even just Persona 5. Let me see.
Persona 4 Golden, I'm seeing.
It would be just Persona 5.
Just Persona 5.
Persona 5 Royal.
I think that would be.
Here. Multiplayer. Does Persona 5 have multiplayer? Persona 5 it says the Strikers.
Features.
Yeah, that's what the problem came in for starters. I kept getting that. But
it says the good news or bad, depending on how you look at it, is that this keeps going to strikers.
Yeah.
This Persona 5 Royal had multiplayer.
Yeah, the only thing I'm getting is strikers.
Let me see something here real quick. Because, yeah, I was about to say, it keeps on, like, it says Persona 5. And, like, even when I went to the PlayStation Store, actually, let me see right here. Let me see if I can just pull it up.
It says
That
players can step in to make battles and enemy encounters a little easier. Fantasy's Alliance is
It's Phantom Thieves, I believe it's called.
Yeah, Fantasy's Alliance can pitch in during battles and dungeon crawling, along with just as stressful school activities part of the game. A teammate who is knocked out can be taken hostage by an enemy during battle. If the player fails to save them, someone they're connected to online can step in. They can also prevent enemies from running away on the map so that a player can defeat them and continue on undetected. As for players' day-to-day, online functionality takes the form of inspiration for those unsure of how to spend their downtime. What other Phantom Thieves are doing in between battles is recorded for everyone to check. And questions asked during class now come with a percentage of players who choose each possible answer.
Yeah, right there. I mean, you guys can't see it because it's kind of blurred out, but it does say 2-player on for the network players. But so it sounds like it's just like a pass controller type of thing.
Well, no, it's like if you're in a battle or something, and one of your teammates that you have, your NPCs, gets kidnapped by an enemy during battle, and if you can't save them, someone they're connected to online can step in. So, like, if I'm online and then you let one of your people get kidnapped and you don't save them, then I can step in the battle to try and help out. And the day-to-day, apparently, it's required for everyone to check, and questions asked during class now come with a percentage of players who choose each possible answer. Maybe hoping to take part in terms of luck. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's co-op play like you were thinking.
Gotcha. I was about to say because it said multiplayer online, and it just made me think about it. And I was like, all right, well, I'm very curious to see how that would work, but we'll see. I do wish that Strikers was at least multiplayer because I mean Dynasty Warriors for the longest have been multiplayer. But like I said, that's our ALWT Things Gaming. This Thursday we are going to be live reacting to the I almost said State of Play, but to the Summer Game Fest. So be on the lookout for that when we go live. And again, have your predictions ready if you guys want to check us out inside the chat or anything like that. Sunday we are going to be live reacting as well to the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. Monday we're going to be live reacting to the Capcom event with news that's of announced games already. And then next Tuesday, it's not going to be a live reacting, but we will still be reacting to what Xbox has for their extended showcase for their stuff there. So a pretty busy reaction week in gaming news for us, and a good thing. But also, just as a general reminder, and I know that Nineball had mentioned this before, in 6 days from now is going to be the PlayStation tier membership. So if you guys are looking into upgrading your tiers with PlayStation, that's going to be the time to do it. You guys can go ahead and upgrade and try to see what those new tiers are going to be end up. If you don't do anything for it, you'll just still have the base tier, which is what you have right now. Nothing wrong with that at all. You still get your 3 free games for the month. You still can play online, all that good stuff, and you have your access to the discounts in the PlayStation Store. But if you guys want to upgrade to the PS4 and PS5 library, that's going to be included with the tiers, as well as the collection for Vita, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS5. For the premium, you guys can do that for $120, $90, or keep it at $60. I am Malachi36. This is Bill Carey, and this is It's the Nine Ball signing off for June 7th, 2022. Until next time, everybody, Control Alt.
Complete
it.
Peace it.